Yeah, first of all, a lot of respect for their coaching staff. I think they do a great job. Their guys are very physical. They have great attention to detail. I think most of all, multiple personnel groupings, a lot of shifts, a lot of motions, and their quarterback is their engine. He makes them go. Very impressed with him. 6-year senior, very mature, does not get rattled, knows where to go with the ball at all times, gets them in the right plays. Very electric on the perimeter. They got a group of receivers that will cause us a lot of challenges. Vertical pass game is really good, and they have some running backs that play physical and a few guys that can make you miss in space as well. So a lot of challenges there. And then up front, veteran group. I don't know in the last couple of years if we haven't played very many teams with this much size and mass up front, especially with the center and the two guards all being 320 plus. So a lot of challenges for us. I think that they do a really good job of getting their players in the right position to make plays, and their guys do a good job and understand the scheme and do things very well as a unit. So it's going to present a lot of challenges for us this weekend. Yeah, I mean, that guy was obviously a really good player. He held him along with some of those other guys. They had a great unit. I don't expect a ton of drop off, and for them, I don't know if they can replace a player of his caliber because he was one of the best backs in the country. But they run it back by committee, and then obviously Smith, the transfer from Arkansas, has done a lot of dynamic things in the past at Arizona State, Arkansas, now UTSA. So I expect a heavy dose of him along with a host of other guys. And they pride themselves on being physical and running the football. So I don't see that as a concern for them right now. I see it more as something that we have to be prepared for, to face multiple backs and multiple receivers. Yeah, he's definitely a work in progress, and we're very proud of him. We knew when we signed him, obviously the Westfield connections with the Meekins family and Coach Meekins here, myself and Coach Early, we were all kind of on the same page about what we thought of him. Very intelligent, physically already ready to play. It's just fine-tuning some technique and getting in there and see what he could do when the lights come on. And I think he's going to do a really good job when he gets an opportunity. I think he's mature for a freshman. He's able to communicate at a high level as well as be physical. And that's always a struggle with a young D lineman is, the physical nature that it comes with that position. There's some acclimating that you have to do when you come to the college level. And he's done a really good job of that. So the expectation is high for him. I think when he gets his opportunity, he'll be ready to play. And he'll be impressive to everybody.
That is the starters pretty much. But how are things working out behind those guys?
Competition has been very high. I mean, we've added some new guys with Moses and Justice and Lateef. Then we've had guys that have been here for 1 year that are redshirt freshmen like Mark and Jalen Emery. Jalen Emery had a really good camp. He's kind of the quick twitch firecracker of the group. And then you look at some of the other guys that we've been able to add that have been competing at a high level. Justice Hugo and Moses are very similar, physically long, athletic guys that play on the outside. And then you kind of look at Lateef, he's a little bit more multiple, does some other things. So just getting those guys acclimated to our system, being able to learn and communicate at a high level as well as play multiple positions. The competition has been there. They've gotten quality reps against our receiving core, which I think is really good. So each and every day allows us a chance to get better competing with those guys as well as being able to coach them and being able to teach them off of the film. And, those guys are gym rats and they want to be good players. They know the expectation that we have. They're up here often and they want to learn and they want to be great. So I'm excited to see what they can do when game day gets here. But I think they'll be prepared and they'll do a good job. And, I think the future will be bright. We just got to get them going and get them in there and see what they can do.
Sort of what you saw from those two that helped y'all make the decision?
Yeah, that's always a work in progress because we play so many people consistently. We have several sub packages, so each one of those guys start for us in different ways, right? So Manny made his mark last year being a great special teams player and being very multiple in our scheme on third down and on passing situations, playing in space. He's improved his game tremendously, playing in the box and doing a lot of other base down things very well. Malik's kind of a throwback linebacker. He plays with an attitude. He's very physical, plays downhill. Does a lot of things well, has played Mike and has played well. So it's nothing that we really don't think that he can do when he's mature and he's older and he deserved a chance to complete as well. And that position is very unique because Jamal Morris also plays that position. So that may be the position that had the most competition on our team. And then you look at a young freshman like Traylon Payne, who we have raved about as far as his ability to tackle the football and his athleticism. And so we got 4 guys at that position. We kind of move them around and do some different things with each one of those guys, but we have 4 guys that we feel really confident about. And you add Jamal and Traylon to that mix with Manny and Malik. That's a strength of ours right now. Yeah, I haven't talked to those guys much about last year. We've kind of moved on from that, and we want to create an identity of our own for this year. And if that's better than last year, that'll be great. But the standard is the same each and every day for us. And my biggest goal is that we have consistency in performance in our assignment and alignment and doing our job. And I think everything else will fall in place. But the things that we pride ourselves on and the characteristics of our defense, I think those building blocks show from last year. The physicality, the effort. The brotherhood and the camaraderie. And I think as a team, we're just much closer, as a unit, as well as offense and defense. So I think there's a lot of positives to build off of, but, this season will tell a lot about what we're made of and which direction we're going. And obviously we feel really well about the direction that we're going in as a program under coach's leadership. But at the same time, who are we going to be for this year? And this first game is an opportunity for us to start building an identity for the 2022 season. And I think that these guys are just really motivated, especially losing some key components of our defense last year. Obviously, really good players that are playing in the NFL that I feel like they just have something to prove as far as that the guys have to step up and replace the production that we had last year. And for me, I don't look at it like that personally. It's just a new year, new opportunities for new people. No matter how much you played last year, you have to go out there and prove what you can do. And that's the standard that we have set. And so no matter how many plays that you played or if you didn't play any, the expectation is that you go out there and do your job and dominate the guy in front of you each and every rep. And if not, then we have to get guys that could do that. So I think that's the mindset. I like where we're at, and I like the leadership that we have. And obviously, they want to set a higher standard and raise the bar. And so I think that it's just time will tell which direction that we will go. Yeah, we kind of approach it, defensively the same way with all of our players. And we talked about the corners a few minutes ago, and we've talked about the linebackers as well. We want competition at every position, so it creates depth. And championship level teams have to have depth to win. And when you look at a guy like Nelson, we were able to play him a lot last year. And so now he's ready. So that's just the way that we want to continue to develop our players. And you don't know what they could do until they get in the game. And he's the guy that's proven that he can make plays in the game. And I think the sky's the limit for him because he's a good pass rusher. And he's probably just as good or even better against the run. His football IQ has continued to grow each and every day. He's a student of the game. He doesn't say much, but when you turn on the tape, he pops. Just the way that he practices with effort, his consistency and performance. And then obviously, competing with Derek Parrish and Anthony Jones every day. I think each one of those guys make each other better. So I'm excited about him. No worries about him. I think he's going to be ready to play. And I think we'll be really proud of him when it's all said and done as he continues to get better every day. But he loves to be challenged and he plays with relentless effort each and every play.
Nice.
I mean, our deal has been stockpile D linemen and DBs, right? And Coach Mack did a great job of continuing to increase the talent level at linebacker. So at every level, we're playing 2 and 3 deep. Some guys will play more than others, but the thing that we're trying to get our guys to realize is that it's all about the team. And so whatever your role is for that week, each and every week, it may be different. Whether you play 2 plays, you play 30 plays, you play 50 plays, how good can we be at those plays and maximizing those opportunities that you get? And you look at the front, I mean, we want to play multiple guys. We want to play anywhere from 8 to 12 guys consistently up front. And so, it creates a little bit of ownership in their position and their job for that week. And so, we grade everybody and we evaluate every play in practice. So those guys have an opportunity to do something great every time that they go out there. And it also gives us a chance to develop and allow those guys to grow. And so you look at it at the defensive tackle position, Said, Elias, Latrell, and the guy that we haven't really talked about is Jamari Caldwell. He's going to be a heck of a player as well. And so some of those guys play inside and outside. And then you look at the interior guys like Dot and Jamichael, AJ, Ossie, who we haven't talked a lot about either. I mean, you 3-4 deep at both of those positions. And at some point, we're waiting on guys to continue to separate themselves. And sometimes separating themselves is not who's starting or who's going in second. It's just increasing the amount of reps and defining their roles and what they do well and what they can improve on. And we want to put guys in position to maximize their skill set And so no matter what position is on defense, but particularly at the defensive line, Early does an awesome job, and he kind of commands that room and sets those rotations, and we kind of just try to put those guys in position to make plays. It does. I wasn't there very long. And so I don't know if that helps me or hurts me. But I did grow up, as a high school quarterback, and I played a position, and I played receiver, I played DB. And so I've kind of had a lot of different experiences, but I think the greatest experience is people. Sometimes how you're being attacked and other things just comes from film study. I think everybody has good coaches, and I've been fortunate to be around a lot of good people and play multiple positions. So does it give me advantage? Maybe, maybe not. I think the biggest thing is just putting our players in the right position. And I think we do a great job of that as a coaching staff, from Coach Hogerson to our defensive staff, to just making sure that we're putting people in the right positions to be able to be educated and understand how we're going to get attacked each and every week, and what we do well and what the deficiencies are in different fronts and coverages. And so we kind of focus on that more than anything. So I don't know if I have an advantage or not, but I put a lot of time in studying it and making sure that we're prepared, and our players and our coaches are on the same page.
Send it back to Rob Sellers.
Thanks, Coach. I wanted to ask you about the nickel position. I guess that's the last spot we haven't talked about yet. So with Griffin Taylor being listed on there, and obviously Jace is a guy you guys use there and move around a lot, just can you share a little bit more about how that position enters the season? How does it look?
Yeah, those guys are our base two guys. Jace is obviously a veteran guy that's played a lot of football, has kind of been in the mix at that position from corner to nickel, playing safety and sub packages, kind of a utility, does a lot of different things, high football IQ, plays fast, loves the game, great communicator. And then D-Mark, as we call him, he's done a great job. He's got great short area quickness and got great long speed, loves to play the game, has a lot of energy, plays his game very similar to Jace. But he's a first in, last out guy, loves to study football, always wants to do better and be great. And then we play some of the outside corners inside as well, but those two have taken the majority of the snaps at that position.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Rob. We'll send it over to Joseph Duarte and then Chris Baldwin, and we'll wrap from there. Joseph?
Doug, one guy I was curious about, played a lot of at Samford, Tremarcus Cheeks. I know at that position, Donovan obviously gets a lot of the attention, but what does he bring to that position, and sort of just how you can use him as needed?
Yeah, I mean, Cheeks he's awesome. I'm glad we have him. It's not very many times that a guy gets in the transfer portal, that the head coach and every coach on the staff has nothing but positive things to say about him. He's a leader. He's smart. He's a great football player, probably even better person. But Donovan has done a great job at that position, but we have competition at that position as well. Cheeks is pushing at that position. He's going to play a lot. He's going to play early. He's going to play often. We'll move him around, do multiple things with him. He's got length, he's got size, and he's got athleticism. He's probably the biggest guy in the room as far as length and weight. And then Jalen Gardner has taken a lot of reps there, and we're developing him as well. So when you look at Cheeks, I mean, he's a veteran. He's played a lot of football, and I don't foresee a drop off when he goes in the game. He's got a great skill set, and like I said, he's smart. He does a lot of things well. So we're excited to have him, and I think he's going to bring a little bit of different energy when he goes in as well.
As far as it affects the
very, very appreciative, of all the different people that have been able to impact our program, and everything that we do is all about our players. And I've said that oftentimes about myself, but Coach Hogerson is the same way, and we see eye to eye on that. I think that, it shows the direction the program is going in, but it also gives players perspective, right? They hear the coaches talk often, they hear the leaders on the team in front of the team. So when Kendrick Perkins said something from his championship experience, or, you see the support of Paul Wall, Bun B, Trader Truth's been around, and you can go down the list without leaving people out. The support has been outstanding, and, it's a lot of people, like Tilman Fertitta, the mayor, our president, the police chief that were here in the last week that just love the city of Houston, and they love our team, and they want to do everything they can to help our players succeed. So I think the perspective and showing them that the love that they have within the city, and there's a lot of people that can help them in many different arenas. I think that goes a lot further than football. And I think, you know, obviously they want to see us win and we all want to do well, but sometimes, you know, it can spring a light or give some perspective on things outside of football, you know, about safety, about how to handle yourself when you leave out of the building from the police chief, or, you know, the mayor telling his story about where he's from in the inner city, how he still lives there, and how he wants us to represent the city. And then obviously, Dr. Couture, just the things that she brings, and those guys seeing Tillman Fertitta in person is just like listening to him, and they seen him on TV, they seen him on the sideline of the Rockets game, and those relationships can last a lifetime. And so it's just awesome that coaches allowed those people to come in and give some perspective and shine some light on us, but it also gives our players some perspective, like we could do this, and we have a lot of people behind us in the city of Houston, and they want to represent the city as well as the university to the best of their abilities. And I think at the end that we'll continue to get the support from those people, and we want to make those people proud. I think that's how our players have seen that.